Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. Let's do makeup updates. I love trying things for the first time and getting an initial impression, but then it comes down to how does it really wear for the long term? Like, what are my feelings? What are my frustrations? What are the things that I wish were a little bit different? Or what do I absolutely adore about products? And I have a whole series of these. I will link that playlist for you in the description box down below. But I'm going to start with one thing that I know I already love. And I couldn't be happier that the brand expanded their shade range because I did not have a perfect shade in this formula and I wore it anyway. I wore it and it wasn't right and I was like, I don't care, I love it so much. And it's Merit's The Minimalist. So they recently, at the beginning of September, expanded the shade range for this foundation stick. This is the shade that's perfect for me. This is the shade Chiffon. When I blend it in, it's like you can't tell where my skin ends and the foundation begins, and I love this stuff. I was wearing this earlier this week. I wore it several times this week. It is just the prettiest foundation for my combo skin. I've heard a lot of people who have dry skin say they can't use this, but me as a combo girly, my under eyes can be a little dry, but if I hydrate them well, I can even use this as like concealer under my eyes. And this looks like hardly anything. I always use a synthetic brush to blend it in. I have really been loving this guy. This is the Rephr BO4. I wish they had it back in stock. Hopefully they'll have it back in stock quickly. But if that's not your speed, another one that I really love enough to have two of is the Merit O1 brush. You can tell this is the one that I'm using recently. My clean one is here. I was like, I don't ever want to be without. This is a really great brush. I love that they expanded the shade range. They didn't just expand on the light end. They did both light and deep and then filled in some holes in the middle. They started out, I think, with 16 shades. Now they have 30. I hope they just continue to do it because this is such a great product. I'll be 50 in January and this looks amazing on my skin. Even under my eyes, where not all foundations look good under the eyes. This is one of those that either I can set it with powder lightly or I can just set where I need it, which for me would be my T-zone where I get more oils, and then right under the eyes to make sure it doesn't settle into my creases. But this is a fantastic product. Love, love, love. This is now my third shade of it. I used to have the two lightest shades. Now there's even a shade lighter than this. But this one is fantastic and I am so happy to have this shade in Chiffon. I picked up the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Blurring Powder. I have the lightest shade in 01 Fair Pink. Is it pink? I don't think it's that pink. It doesn't really look that pink. It looks just like a little bit on the cool side of neutral. And for me, what's great about this is the blurring aspect of it. It looks really great, like right across where I have my larger pores. It's really good on the nose because there is an aspect of mattification to this. I have to be careful with this the older I get because anything that is too heavy or too mattifying can just make me look even older than I am. I don't mind looking my age, but I don't want to look a decade older. And I'm not saying this makes me look a decade older. I just have to make sure I'm not over applying. Now, the one place where this cannot be put is underneath my eyes. I always set my under eyes with a loose powder, occasionally with a pressed powder, but mostly a loose powder. And this one I've tried under the eyes. Is it the worst offender? No. In a pinch, if I'm running, short on time and it's what I have on my desktop, do I use it? Yeah. But if I had my druthers, I would definitely reach for something else other than this. It is a nice powder. It is a little bit on the more mattifying side. So if you have textured skin, if you have dry skin, this may show up a little bit more and not be as flattering. The one thing that I found makes all the difference for this, I'm wearing this one today, is to finish it with a setting mist. And the one that I've been loving is this one from M. This is the Divine Water. The difference between me setting this with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless finish, I'm almost out of this, and this is a hydrating setting spray. And this is a mattifying setting spray, like a let's stay all day, let's not go anywhere, let's not budge. And it's still really good at keeping my makeup in place, but it makes my skin look like my skin again. So if you do like to use powders that are a little bit on the heavier side and you're looking for something that's going to bring back the look of skin without really compromising, I'm not saying it's like the longest wearing, but it's more like skincare and hydration in a bottle, and it takes away the powdery look and it makes all of the layers kind of come together as one and not look as layered and heavy on the skin. So I find that when I use this powder, since it is a little bit heavier than normal for me, something like this makes all the difference in the world. Love this so much. But I feel like the powder, do I love it as much as my RMS? No, the RMS Hydro Powder is my new favorite loose powder. Here's hoping that Givenchy redoes their Voile Rosé 03 powder again, because they just redid it and it has too much mica and it's too shiny and it looks more like a highlight and less like a slightly luminous setting powder, because that was my holy grail. But I love the one from RMS. This one's not bad, but it hasn't hit favorite status. I do use it. It's just not the one I automatically reach for. All right, I picked up a couple of cheek products. I'm going to start with this. This is the Persona Bronzing and Contour Stick in the shade Mojave. I am wearing this today. This is beautiful. It's not too warm. It has a little bit of depth to it, but I like the way that it kind of, I mean, it's not really meant as a contour. It is a bronzer, but I like that it's not too warm. I like that it's not too orange, and it blends out with no effort at all. What I did today was I scribbled some on the back of my hand. Then I used this enormous brush. This is the 105 from BK Beauty. And then I just did this, and it absolutely perfectly diffuses the color on my cheeks. I do that with a lot of bronzers that are either in liquid or in cream form. Scribble a little bit on the back of my hand, pick it up and do this, or straight from the pan, because the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin, oh man, that stuff is beautiful with something like this because it blends it for you. It's so good. Really like this. Really like the color and the texture, and it wears beautifully all day long. I wish the packaging was just a little bit more elevated. You know, it's plastic packaging, but for an indie brand, formula is fantastic. I like it both in the blush as well as in the bronzer. Definitely recommend if you're looking for a fair toned bronzer shade. All right, I'm a little confused by this. I am wearing it today. The problem I have with this new highlight from Gucci, I mean, I've been in it. We lost the imprint, the Gucci imprint. The other thing that I noticed is that this kind of has, like, I don't know, it feels like I can leave a fingerprint in it. Do you see where I've kind of pressed my finger in right here? So it's an interesting formula. Looks like this. The one thing that I like about it is that it is not too much, and you can just barely see it right here. I feel like it's almost like, wait, what? Where are you? Where are you? And I don't feel like I can ever over apply, which is probably a good thing, because there are very few powder highlights. This doesn't even feel like a powder highlight. It's not quite like the Super Shocks from ColourPop that have that really squishy, like you can move them around in the pan. You can't do that to this. You'd probably break it. But there is an element of this is unlike other products. It's not your traditional baked highlight. It's not your traditional powder pressed highlight. It's not your traditional kind of cream highlight. There's something very intriguing and different about this. And I guess if you're looking for something that's just a little bit, not too much, you might really like this. I find that I'm still wanting just a little bit more glow than this offers. But then there are times that I'm, wearing this and I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, that looks really pretty and very subtle and just enough and not too much. Because sometimes I'll be like, whoa, stripe a highlighter. And I must have not have been paying attention. But she's pretty, but I don't know that I would want any more in this formula. I feel like it's an interesting formula, but for the price, I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad. I just don't know that it's worthy of the price. There you go. I picked up this new CL concealer. This is the Conceal and Protect SPF 50 Dark Spot Corrector. Oh my goodness. I have this in the shade 02N. This is what it looks like. I am wearing it today. It does lean just a hair on the yellow side. It can be a little bit heavy. I don't like this as much under the eyes. I like this on the rest of my face. So on the days that I have a little redness from a blemish, or if I'm trying to hide, like it's almost completely obliterated today. I think it was the cream products that I put over the top of it. My dark spot here, this is great. If you have hyperpigmentation, melasma, sunspots, freckles that you want to get rid of or tone down, this is really, really, really good for doing that. I like blending it in with a small synthetic brush that I use for a concealer, and it's really, really lovely. Now, under the eyes, I mean, it looks a little heavy, but remember, I'm almost 50. If you are younger and you have really dark circles, this might work really well under the eyes as a corrector and a concealer. I still prefer the one from Natasha Denona, but I've been using this almost every day for dark spots, for getting rid of, you know, maybe redness on the face, anything at all that's like that, just small little concealing areas like spot concealing. This has been fantastic. I really like it. It is super uber pigmented, but it's not my favorite for the under eyes. I'm wearing this today. I've been wearing this a lot more than I thought I was going to. Okay, you're probably going, if you didn't think you were going to wear it that much, why did you get it? Well, I've really kind of fallen in love with Natasha Denona, and I know I'm kind of late to the party. A lot of people have been head over heels for formulas and eyeshadows and these midi palettes for years now, and I just didn't see anything until last summer. It was around August of 2023 when I got the I Need a Nude palette that really started the snowball going down the hill, picking up speed. And then in the fall, I picked up the Glam palette, and then I was able to pick up the Golden palette this summer, and now the I Need a Warm palette. Man, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. Now you're going, wait, you just mentioned 3 neutral palettes. Yes, I know. I know. I'm only wearing mattes today from this palette, and I really, really love it. I find that this works well for me if using one shade, using 2 shades, using like 5 shades. Today I think I'm using 5 different shades, and it's giving a really beautiful look, but it's one that blends so easily. If you like warm tones, but you don't want them to be too warm, I feel like the bronze midi palette from Natasha Denona is too saturated. The colors are too bright, they're too orange, they're too much, where this definitely has a little bit less saturation. And for someone like me who has fair skin, this is a much, much better option for me. Okay, I've been trying a ton of new eye products. Let's talk about the mascaras. Okay, so these were sent to me from Sweed. Oh my goodness. I love both of these. This is my absolute favorite. This is the Pro Lash Lift Mascara. And the reason that I love this, look at the wand. Isn't the wand crazy? It's like hardly anything. And then it has this little row right here of teeth. And it is so good for not just pushing at my lashes, but coating every single lash. And it's not leaving a ton of product in my lashes, but I feel like my lashes look so much better than they normally do. And this comes in black and brown. I got it in brown. Really, really, really like it. Their Cloud Mascara has more of a conical shape to it. It kind of reminds me of the one from Thrive, the wand on the Thrive Mascara. But this is one of those also in brown that is soft, it's fluffy. One thing that I like about these mascaras is that they're not too hard and crunchy. I'm not saying they're the softest mascaras out there, but they're not that same sort of rigid, like my eyelashes have now been completely encapsulated and will be pokey and stabby all day. I don't find that to be the case. The Cloud Mascara is nice. It gives volume, it gives length. I feel like I get a little bit more length from the Pro Lift, but they both hold a curl really well. They both wash off really easily. These 2 eyeliners from Sweed, okay, I'm wearing the one in Mink Greige today, just right above the lash line. I love these because the shades are so different. I talked about these in my September favorites. I am head over heels for these. Like, these are beautiful. So we have Golden Beetle and we have Mink Greige. And for me, it's the fact that these shades are unlike anything else in my collection. And can you find kind of like a gray eyeshadow and kind of like a dirty gold? Yeah, you can. But these feel really nice. They glide. They have a really nice airtight cap. So when I take the caps off, I'm not worried about it kind of tugging and scratching and pulling along my eyelid. They glide beautifully, sharpen really nicely. They also have a sponge tip applicator on the other end. I kind of don't use the sponge tip. I just use the pencil liner, but some people really do love, you know, that other option on the other end. For me, it's those shades. They're so pretty and so unlike. I'm usually wearing brown because brown eyeliner is not too much, but these have become my not too much eyeliners. I like the formula. They wear really well. Love, love, love the colors. All right, the last eye product that I picked up recently was the Exaggerize from Charlotte Tilbury. I really wanted to love this. Is it a bad mascara? No. Okay, so it has kind of like this curved wand. I do like that the vial here is glass. I think the packaging is stunning. It's a really big fluffy wand, but the one thing that I've noticed is that every time I put this on, because I have smaller eyes and the wand is so big, I end up with mascara on my lids. I can try my hardest to be careful and not do that, and it happens every time. So I am forever taking a spoolie and just like scratching it off. And that's a great tip if you ever just let it dry. Once it's dry, scratch it off with a spoolie or with a clean Q-tip or just like your nail, whatever it is that you need. This is supposed to give you absolutely long, voluminous, and clump-free lashes. Guess who's not clump-free? Sorry, Charlotte. The other thing I noticed is that the formula is heavy enough that after I curl my lashes, I have short, straight, downward pointing lashes. I don't have extravagant, wonderful eyelashes like both my kids do. So I'm always trying to beef them up with a mascara. And this brings a ton of volume, but also a ton of weight. And because it's a little bit drier when you first open it up, I like that it's not like a really wet, soupy mascara. I don't find that these guys are really wet either, but there's something about this that just weighs my lashes down. And the next thing I know, it's like, did I curl my lashes at all? So if you have kind of temperamental lashes like I do, I don't know that I would recommend this. Am I going to finish it up? Yes. I'm not going to kick it out of my collection, but I don't know that this is a repurchase for me. I was really excited because the marketing for this sounded like everything that I wanted. Volume, length, clump free, all of that. And the images look so stunning. I was like, I want those lashes. Yeah. All the models in the ads had amazing lashes to begin with, and then they had a makeup artist putting on their mascara. And here it's just little old me and my short stumpy lashes doing my best. So it's not a bad mascara. It's just not a luxury mascara I'm willing to pay the full price for. I would much rather pick up one of these guys. Last thing I have for you are some lipsticks. Let's start with these guys here from Dolly Beauty. These are the new Heaven's Kiss lipstick. Okay, one of them, there's a button on the top that if you press it, it releases the bullet. One of them does it, one of them doesn't. And I have contacted the brand. They needed me to send them a video showing how it wasn't working, and I did that. They're going to send me a whole new one, but I got that about 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't seen it. So I don't know. We're going to wait. We're going to see. I do think the packaging is pretty with the rhinestones, and you know, it says Dolly and then has like a butterfly. Okay, so I like this, but the fact that the component itself doesn't work really bothers me. The one thing I have noticed is that if I hold it here at the bottom, pressing it up, like really pressing it hard, and then press this, it sometimes, not all the time, will release it. There we go. Oh, finally, I was like, what? So this is the shade I've been wearing the most. This is the shade Rosebud. It is a really pretty mid-toned pink shade. It's not too much, it's just enough. The other one I picked up is the shade Jolene Red. Here's what I know about these lipsticks. I think the colors are pretty. The red is definitely on the warm side. It's more of an orangey red. I love the pink I was sure that me and the red were going to be like besties, but it turns out me and Rosebud, and I think it's sold out sadly, is the one that I really like. They're $20 a piece. Here's where I tell you they feel like a $20 lipstick. What does that mean? They feel just like slightly above some of the regular products that I try from the drugstore. Here's where I remind you, I'm a total lipstick snob. I want everything to be like the best version of itself. And I feel like for someone who's Dolly's age, I'm assuming Dolly's in her 70s, I don't know, but I'm assuming that these would wear well on more mature lips. And what I find is these are emollient and creamy enough that without a lip liner that the company does not yet make or sell, they travel and they go. Now I know that a hydrating formula looks more attractive on more mature lips and sometimes a matte does, but these are so emollient that they don't stay where I need them to, which is why I have not been opting to wear the red, because the red needs its handheld. It's what I call a high maintenance red, where I need to be checking in the mirror, where I need to make sure that if I'm, drinking from a glass, you can see there's a little remnant of product here, that when I go and put it back on, that I don't get like color other than where I want it. I don't have time or energy for high maintenance reds, but the pink shade in Rosebud is soft enough that if it does slightly get outside of my lip line, it is not such a pigmented bright shade like the red that it's not instantly obvious. I find that I have lip liners that I can pair with either one of them, but the older I get, the more I need a lip liner, the less I want to do it. Like I want one less step when I'm getting ready. And sometimes lip liner is not where I want to spend my time or energy. I know that's lazy of me, but I feel like Rosebud fits more into where I'm at right now with my lips than the Jolene Red. Other lipsticks I have for you are the new explicit lipsticks from NARS. I am wearing the one today. Where is it? It's called Envy. Here's Envy. It's a really pretty kind of slightly warm leaning nude shade. The other one I picked up is in the shade Excess, and this just like screams fall for me. It just is like, yes, it's a beautiful brown shade. And when you mix them together, you get a really pretty, like I'll put the shade in Excess, the brown, all over, and then I'll take this lighter shade in Envy and just kind of keep it in the middle. Okay, these feel really nice. They're very lightweight. They don't last as long as I need them to. They're also a little bit on the slippy side, so I have to wear the deep color with a liner, or heaven forbid it ends up in places that I don't want. It's not as bad as the Dolly, but it's definitely one of those that I keep a kind of an eye on. I don't just apply and run out and live my life. I just have to every now and again, oh look, there's a window, let me check my lip. Oh look, there's a mirror on a car, let me check my lip. I do that more with these guys here, the explicit lipsticks, than I do with some of the other ones in my collection, where I know how they wear and they wear just a little bit longer. I also find that these don't last more than like 2 or 3 hours in the lips. They kind of, because they are more hydrating, they kind of absorb in, and what's left is a little bit of color and my lips feel dry. So these are definitely comfortable to reapply, but I find that I have to reapply these more than I would want to. For a $40 lipstick, I do like the packaging. I like the raised texture here of NARS. I like that it's not that soft matte packaging that ends up with fingerprints all over it. This is really, really nice. I like that we also have a totally and completely magnetic cap to it. I like everything about it. It's just that the bullet itself doesn't stay on my lips for as long as I would want it to. I find that it kind of like, I applied Envy before I started the video and I haven't been recording that long and I needed to apply it again. I just feel like the darker shade lasts a little bit longer, but that light nude shade just kind of just like soaks right in, and I'm like, I need some more. These are $40 a piece. I feel like we're getting that $40 price point in the way the packaging looks and feels. I feel like the shades, they all lean really warm. I feel like a lot of the NARS base products, a lot of NARS products in general lean on the warm side. And there was a lot of peachy, nudie, warm and toasty terracotta-y shades. I needed more coolness, and I wish there was more coolness in the range. The one thing I will say is that they're super comfortable on the lips. They're hydrating, they're nourishing, but I don't know that I need to run out and buy any more of these. I kind of had my eye on the red one, like the bright red one, and after trying these two for the last several weeks, I was like, yeah, I'm good. Am I still wearing them? Yes. Am I still reaching for them? Yes, but I'm not like head over heels, you needs must get. Okay? It's kind of like a, eh. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget, I'm going to link that entire playlist for makeup updates in the description box down below. I'll also throw it for you up here in the eye. But I would love to know, is there anything new that you've been trying? Have you tried any of these things? What are your thoughts? Or things that are new to you or new to your makeup collection that you're trying for the first time. They may not be new on the market, but you finally said, you know what? I think I am going to try that. I would love to know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.